Sultan was a story of a person who loses everything. Sport was just the carpet of the film. When first time I went to Salman and I said, "Sir, it's a story of an underdog who's going to fight life, you know." And obviously it's going to be a sports drama, so there will be wrestling and there will be relationship. When you conceive a story like that, I think what's very important is to have this private moment with just that character, where there is nothing. It's we always term it as naked scenes. There's only camera, there is character and what he's feeling. So the way it was conceived was that when he's down and out and when he understands that he's hitting his lowest, he needs to bounce back. And what bounces him back is his self-realization of, at one point of time, a man who was riding on success, who was riding on his ego, the man who was riding on his chauvinism, understands that he's down and out.
Sultan, dead person.
I always on paper conceived that scene as a redemption scene of Sultan.
Bird.
That was the scene where when an audience watched that scene, you know that he was wrong, but you yet felt for him and you say, this is where this character becomes human. I think it was brilliant on part of Salman, how he portrayed that on screen. I still remember he kept pushing that scene again and again, saying, Ali, we will shoot it. I was supposed to shoot it in my first schedule. Then we went into the second schedule. He shaved. Then he grew his beard back. But that scene, I could understand, because from the time I narrated the script, this was one thing that stayed with him. And he says, वो करेंगे पर अच्छे से जमा के करेंगे, time लेके करेंगे. I said, let's do it. And then just towards the last schedule, when actually after that schedule, he started shedding weight because we were going in the younger portion when he's a young wrestler. One day he just comes to me and he says, today we will do that scene. And it's actually in a metal box. And we were carrying this metal box wherever we were going, from Delhi to Punjab to Panvel, where we were shooting MMA, to actually Bombay set. And I always kept this metal box in a truck and says, kahin bhi ho, this set needs to be there and it needs to be ready. And one day he calls me at like 5:30 in the evening. He says, I'm going to work out and today we're going to shoot that scene. And it was a bizarre thing because in that scene, he needed to look run down, but to prepare for that scene, he went to gym. He had a logic about it. He said, if you've been a wrestler and you've wrestled for good 25 years or 15, 20 years, your body will take a shape. So I can't have droopy shoulders. My shoulders still need to look like shoulders of wrestler, and maybe I'll have a punch. So somewhere or the other, it was a physical and emotional, both kind of a draining thing that he did before coming. And then he came and he took off his shirt. There were only 4 people, me, DOP, a focus puller and Salman in that small room. I don't sit on the monitor, so I like to watch actors with naked eye. And he just went. It's a 3.5 minute take. And the take finished. And everyone was shocked. Inside that small room, there were only 3 of us, but outside there was silence. And he comes out and I look at his face. Even I was numbed and teary, and I looked at him and he says, do you want to do another take? I said, I don't want to do another take. He said, sure, are you sure about it? And we watched it a couple of times. And then he went straight. He didn't even look at me. He went straight and sat in the car and went home. I think he was in love with that scene. There's a part in the scene where he gets stuck in his shirt. It was completely unscripted. But sometimes small things happen, He struggles with his shirt in that scene. Then he tries to open that mitti that he's got from the akhada. And he's trying to open that mitti and that's also stuck. And then he gets the mitti, then he puts it. And then while doing that, I think that kind of made him more frustrated as an actor, that why is this shirt not going? So by the time he leaves that scene, he is a completely changed, angry man. So when he comes into the arena, Huda looks at him and he says, "Roke aaya kya?" to Amit Saad. And then they both share a look, and then he goes, gets beaten again, and then picks up again. So it's like the rise of the phoenix. You rise from the ashes, and that's where your journey takes off. And actually, the whole second half hinges on that scene.
रोके आएगा
So when we saw the Salman shirtless scene in the edit, I first showed it to Adi. And Adi doesn't like just watching scenes, so he says, "नहीं यार मैं पूरा edit में देखूँगा." मैंने कहा, "No, you have to see. I'll show a scene before and I'll show a scene after, but you have to see the scene." And I was standing outside the edit. It was a 5.5, 7-minute edit. He saw the scene, and I was waiting. He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out. He didn't come out. Then I put my ear on the door. He was watching it again. He watched it second time. Then he came out, and he says, "This is his Robert De Niro performance."